So this is another worked example of a general look-see at a school site, something that you might undertake as a school tech. And again, I'm using Jupiter High School. It's a site I know fairly well. It's been well mapped out, and I know there's been activities going on. So I've come in at the top level, so I'm looking over the whole of the campus. Um, and remember that today is a Thursday. Um, it's actually not giving me, when I'm looking at the 7 days of data, it's actually not giving me data for today. So I've got data for last Thursday, the 12th, the Friday, the 13th. We were off for the weekend, obviously, and the 16th was Martin Luther King Day. So the first graph is just showing us the number of unique clients on those particular days. And remember that a lot of those are potentially student devices. So every kid that walks in with an iPhone, that's going to get included on that list. Then you come over and you can look at your devices by Wi-Fi client usage, and this is kind of useful because it really does tell you where your hotspots for usage are over an extended period. You mustn't always rely on this too much because on a shorter time scale of say a few days, you might find that there's been some testing in some specific classrooms that might not reoccur. So they might not show up over a week as being areas of importance, but on a daily or hourly basis, they might be. But clearly, taking in the long view, the guys who are showing with the most weekly usage are probably the ones that you might be interested in. So looking here at this usage, I can already recognize the 8D00C0. That's a media center. And I'm guessing some of these other 8D0, 3, 00, and 80 and C0 are probably also media centers. We can, of course, open up a monitor tab. So we're going to look at Aerohive APs. To go to Jupiter, I'm going to hit K to go one past it, and then go to Jupiter High School. I'm going to hit the end key to go down to my unnumbered, so my media center. And you can see that 8D0080, and in fact, what we're also seeing here are some of the other access points with a lot of usage were the gymnasium. So if we go back here, DE29E0, so I hit Control F, DE29 Media Center. You can see right now it's got 61 clients on it, so that's not a surprise. 304C0. Okay, so there you have room 4-113. I suspect strongly that that is a computer room that has a lot of desktops which are connecting via wireless adapters, as far as I remember. Let's look at something that doesn't look like it's one of the media center or gymnasium access points. 040400. Let's do a Control F. 04040. That's a portable. So that's interesting. That's actually a portable that I haven't been able to identify. I haven't fully mapped the portables. But all of the rest of them look like they are the gymnasium or the media center. Okay, so no surprises there. Then you decide, well, actually, I'd like to know what the most used access points are in classroom blocks. So the classroom blocks are 4, 5, and 6. Can't remember, but probably 7 too. If you'll notice, they're all 2-story buildings. Okay, so I can go ahead and click on building 4. And you can see we got one which stands out. That's, again, I think that is 4-113. So that just shows you some consistency across there. Let's look at building 5. and we've got 300, 440, which is got more than twice the data usage. Let's go over here, see what that one is. So it's classroom 114 on the first floor of building 5. Now, if we were, okay, 300, 440, so we can look down here and we can see that this is our weekly airtime. And it might be interesting just to try and track this in a bit more detail, just to show you something that we can do. So we will click on this and it will open up a new tab to look at this access point, which is potentially the one of most interest to us. And one of the things it gives us is an interesting graph of airtime utilization over, on a daily basis, and it can show us that there was a lot of utilization on the 13th, January, Friday 13th. It's also backed up by the fact that we had a lot of clients, unique Wi-Fi clients there. Remember that these would potentially be different students that moved in and out of the room over the course of the day. But it's still interesting to look at those graphs and to drill down into a specific access point. It's just as an example of something that can be done. If we go back to the network summary tab that we were looking at before, let's go to building 6. And again, these amounts of data are fairly modest. One of the things that are noticeable are, I mean, these airtimes are very modest, but they are over the period of a week. So again, we might decide to drill down onto this particular access point. This is 300 HCO, so let's see what that is. 6-205. And one thing that you'll notice on this particular access point specific graph is that we don't have the option to change the time window. There's nothing up here that allows us to change that time window. If we look at airtime utilization, again, it looks like we had, I don't know what happened on the Friday. It looks like everyone might have been goofing off because there's a lot more airtime utilization on that particular day than there was on any other day. Let's go back, close this down. Close this tab down, these device-specific tabs. We're back on a network summary. Let's look at building 7 now. And even less usage. I mean, the busiest access point only transferred 30.4 bytes. Sorry. You'll notice that Jupyter has had most of its laptops upgraded from single band to dual band, so we're seeing very little data transfer on the 2.4 gigahertz band. And airtime utilizations, over the period of a week are so small that they really don't show up at all. So that was just a kind of a quick overview of what you might want to look at when you're trying to get a feel for your school and where your activity is. Okay.